You might be sleeping 8 hours a night and still waking up feeling like you haven't rested in years. That heavy feeling in your chest and the way your brain feels like it is full of static isn't just regular tiredness. It is your spirit telling you that it has run out of fuel. We live in a world that asks us to be on all the time. From the moment your alarm goes off to the last second before you close your eyes, you are likely taking in information, answering questions, or worrying about tomorrow. This constant noise creates a kind of exhaustion that a nap just cannot fix. If you feel like you are walking through mud every single day, even when things are technically going fine, you are in the right place. We are going to look at why your inner self feels so drained and how you can actually start to feel light again. I want to show you the difference between giving your body a break and giving your soul the deep, quiet peace it is screaming for. By the time we finish this talk, you will have a clear map to get back to that calm center you might have lost months or even years ago. Think about the last time you felt really exhausted. You probably went to bed early hoping that by morning you would be ready to take on the world. But then the sun came up and that familiar weight was still sitting on your shoulders. This happens because physical rest and spiritual rest are two completely different things. Physical rest is about your muscles and your heart rate. Spiritual rest is about your connection to yourself and the world around you. When your spirit is tired, it usually means you have been giving away too much of your energy without taking any back in. Imagine you have a bucket of water. Every time you worry about a bill, answer a stressful email, or help a friend through a crisis, you dip a cup into that bucket and pour it out. Eventually, the bucket is empty. You can let the bucket sit in a dark room, which is like sleeping, but that doesn't put water back into it. To fill the bucket, you need a source of water. For us, that source is quiet, presence, and intentional calm. Many people go through their whole lives with a dry bucket, wondering why they feel irritable, hopeless, or just plain numb. If you feel like you are snapping at the people you love, or if you find yourself staring at a wall because you just can't make one more decision, your bucket is empty. We weren't built to know everything that is happening in the world at every second. 100 years ago, if something bad happened 3 towns over, you might not hear about it for a week. Today, you know about every disaster, every argument, and every tragedy the moment it happens, right on your phone. This constant stream of information is like a leaf blower pointed directly at your brain. It creates a state of high alert in your nervous system. Your body thinks there is a threat nearby because of the stories you are reading, so it stays tense. Take a person named Sarah, for example. Sarah is a kindergarten teacher who loves her job. She spends all day giving her patience to 5-year-olds. When she gets home, she spends 2 hours scrolling through social media, looking at people's perfect vacations and reading the news. Even though she is sitting on her couch, her brain is working overtime. She is comparing her life to others, feeling sad about world events, and thinking about what she needs to buy for next week. Sarah isn't resting, she is just consuming. This is the biggest thief of our peace. We think we are relaxing by looking at our phones, but we are actually just feeding the exhaustion. Before you can feel better, you have to stop the things that are draining you. This doesn't mean you have to move to a cabin in the woods and throw your phone in a lake. It just means you need to create quiet zones in your life. Start with the first 20 minutes of your day. Most people reach for their phone before they even stretch their arms. In those 20 minutes, you are letting the whole world into your bedroom. You are letting bosses, news anchors, and strangers dictate how you feel. Try this instead. For the first 20 minutes, don't touch any electronics. Drink a glass of water. Look out the window. Notice the way the light hits the floor. This tells your spirit that you are in control of your peace. It stops the leak. You are choosing to start your day with yourself rather than with the noise of 7 billion other people. It sounds simple, almost too simple, but the shift it creates in your nervous system is massive. You are signaling to your brain that there is no immediate emergency. Your environment has a huge impact on how your spirit feels. If your house is messy, or if you are always surrounded by loud sounds, your brain stays in a state of low-level stress. You don't need a giant house or expensive furniture to create a space that feels like a hug. You just need one corner. It could be a specific chair, a spot on your porch, or even just a clean pillow on the floor. Make this spot your no-worry zone. When you sit there, you aren't allowed to think about your to-do list. You can light a candle, listen to the sound of a fan, or just sit in the dark. The goal is to have a physical place that your brain associates with safety. There was a nurse named David who worked 12-hour shifts in a busy hospital. He was constantly surrounded by alarms, beeping machines, and people in pain. He started feeling like he was losing his mind. He decided to turn his small back porch into his sacred space. He put one comfortable chair there and a few plants. Every day when he got home, he sat there for 15 minutes before doing anything else. He didn't check his phone. He just sat. He said it felt like he was washing the day off his soul. That is what a sacred space does for you. We often get overwhelmed because we feel like we have to say yes to everything. We say yes to extra work, yes to social events we don't want to go to, and yes to helping people who don't really appreciate it. Every yes to something you don't want to do is a no to your own peace. Learning to say no is a spiritual practice. It is you telling the world that your time and your energy are valuable. You aren't being mean, you are being honest. If you are invited to a party on a Friday night but you can barely keep your eyes open, the kindest thing you can do for yourself is stay home. The world will not stop spinning if you miss one event. In fact, if you go when you are exhausted, you won't be good company anyway. By saying no to the things that drain you, you save up enough energy to say a big joyful yes to the things that actually matter. There is something about being around trees, water, or dirt that reminds us how to be calm. Nature doesn't hurry. A tree doesn't stress about how fast it is growing compared to the tree next to it. It just stands there and exists. When we spend time in nature, our heart rates naturally slow down. If you feel like your spirit is fractured, go outside. You don't have to go on a 10-mile hike. Just go to a park and sit on the grass. Take off your shoes and feel the ground. This is called grounding, and there is actual science behind it. It helps lower the cortisol, the stress hormone, in your body. Watch the birds. Look at the way the wind moves the leaves. When you observe the natural world, you realize that life goes on even without your constant worrying. You are part of a much bigger, much slower cycle. This realization can take a huge weight off your chest. The most important part of finding calm is learning to listen to yourself again. When we are stressed and overwhelmed, our own voice gets drowned out by the voices of everyone else. We forget what we like, what we need, and who we are. The turning point happens when you finally stop running. It might be in the middle of a quiet afternoon, or late at night when the house is still. You stop and you ask yourself, what do I actually need right now? And instead of answering with, I need to finish this report, or I need to clean the kitchen, you listen for the deeper answer. Usually the answer is, I need to be seen, or I need to feel safe, or I just need to breathe. When you acknowledge that deep need, the static in your brain starts to clear. You realize that you are not a machine. You are a living being that deserves kindness, especially from yourself. This is the moment of true rest. It's the moment you stop fighting against your own life and start flowing with it. Resting your spirit isn't a one-time thing. It is a daily habit. You can't just go on a vacation once a year and expect to stay calm for the other 364 days. You need small touch points of peace throughout your day. Try micro meditations. This isn't anything fancy. It just means taking 3 deep breaths before you start your car. It means feeling the warmth of the water on your hands while you wash the dishes. It means looking at a flower for 10 seconds longer than you usually would. These tiny moments of presence act like anchors. They keep you from being swept away by the storm of your daily tasks. Another great habit is writing things down. When your brain is full of "don't forget this" and "what if that happens," it can't rest. By putting those thoughts on paper, you are physically moving them out of your head. You are telling your brain, it's okay. I have a record of this. You don't have to carry it anymore. It is like putting down a heavy suitcase you've been carrying for blocks. As you start to implement these changes, remember to be gentle with yourself. You didn't become overwhelmed in a day, and you won't become perfectly calm in a day either. There will be times when the world gets loud again, and you find yourself feeling that old familiar tightness in your chest. When that happens, don't get mad at yourself. Just recognize it. Say, "Oh, I'm feeling overwhelmed again." That's okay. Let me take a breath. Coming back to calm is a journey, not a destination. It is a path you choose to walk every single morning. By choosing to protect your energy, by creating space for silence, and by being kind to your own spirit, you are building a life that feels good on the inside, not just one that looks good on the outside. You deserve to feel light. You deserve to feel clear. And most importantly, you deserve to feel at home within yourself. Take a deep breath right now. Feel your shoulders drop away from your ears. Feel the chair supporting your weight. You are okay. You are right here. And in this moment, there is nothing you have to do and nowhere you have to be. This peace you feel right now, this is your natural state. Everything else is just temporary noise. Keep coming back to this quiet place, and you will find that the world doesn't feel quite so heavy anymore. Subscribe to my Calm Pathway channel